And we're back. Episode 34 of the Brown Mama Show. Just perfect timing on that. We're just going to keep it and we're just going to roll with it. The first few seconds of an audio main piece of content, what you want is someone just smacking on their mic. That
For
is
all you deaf listeners out there, you will be having some new friends
that.
soon.
What a great way to start that. I will
Heck
say.
yeah.
Well, Matthew, after a rather long break, we are back with some more trash, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. What's new with you?
Quick. What's new with me? I got a haircut, but I don't want to show my receding hairline. I uh I got the opportunity to trash talk AJ Dillon, and I I took a poop earlier today.
Okay, talk to me about the AJ Dillon one. Well, we can circle back or not circle back
Oh.
to those other two. What was the with the AJ Dillon thing?
It was a show on Cheesehead TV he does every week. It's called Carry the G, where he basically just talks about every I guess his performance every week or what's going on with AJ Dillon. And they always bring in a panel of some like Packers fans or Packers content creators. And I went on twice, and I asked him. Everyone always tries to ask these like super intelligent sounding questions, and then I come in and I just roast him at the fact that he didn't recover an onside kick with his quads, rather he used his hands.
No,
Let's see.
I'm sorry.
What?
Is this like actually like is AJ Dillon like a part of this content or is he just a topic?
Nah, he's on the Zoom call, man.
Oh,
I'd be asking him some questions.
really? Yo, that's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and I think he hates me now, but it's all good because I might have insinuated that Aaron Rodgers was a better power rusher than he was because he has more yards per carry in his career than AJ Dillon. It doesn't matter. It was some harsh criticism. He can take it however he wants, you know?
I, that's actually like a really cool thing. Like,
Yeah.
not only that, like for like personal wise, like I think it's really cool that you got the opportunity to do that. Like that's something that's really cool. At the same time,
Sure.
like that's something that's really cool from him that he does this like on like a somewhat commitment level every single week, basically.
Yeah.
That's like really dope.
Heck yeah. The first question, or the best question I asked him, I did like this long lead in where I was like, you play for this historic franchise. You've played for some of the greatest players of all time. In fact, some would even say you're playing for the greatest, with the greatest player in NFL history right now. So what's it like being teammates with Mason Crosby? You know, it's all about the lead in, and then boom, baby. You know, you
Okay,
got to ask the stupid questions.
I'm gonna have to watch these. I'm gonna have to watch how sick of you he gets. Um, have you ever made him laugh?
Yeah, I think I did. I think the Mason Crosby punchline got a chuckle out of him.
All right, nice.
I'll send you the links.
All right, I can just look him up myself. You don't have to.
Yeah, sure, but
I'm
yeah, it's
capable.
probably easier for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just googled Google Slides, so don't take my word for it.
No, that's really cool. And then I see you still do your weekly stuff with the Angry Packers or what
Unstable
unstable
Packers fan.
Packers
Yeah,
fan. And surprisingly, those get a good reaction.
I'm just as surprised as you are. I thought I would have been cyberbullied off of Cheesehead TV by now.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's really cool.
Heck yeah! What's new with you?
Let's
Huh?
see. Oh, first I have to mention, Matthew, we have a sponsor for this episode.
Did your mom give you $1 or something?
No, no. All right, here's the ad read here.
Oh, sick.
Have you ever thought to yourself, "Hey, I'd use some like marketing," and then it's like, "Well, maybe I should look for some marketing." Well, let me tell you something. Home Plate Marketing has some marketing for you. So if you need marketing, we're your people at Home Plate
Did you
Marketing.
actually write that, or
I,
please tell me you didn't write
no,
that?
of course not.
Oh, because that would have been a bad look for your marketing.
Made
Thing.
by the more handsome, funnier, more creative, um, overall just better human being of half of the Brown Mamba show.
Listen, just because it's true doesn't mean you have to say it. I mean, come on, man.
Home Plate Marketing. Call today.
What's the number?
Nah, I'm not giving my number on this podcast.
Well, what the frick? Is it like 1-800 freaking? Let me advertise for you.
No, that's
That's too many
that's a
digits.
really long. Yeah, that's. I couldn't fit all of those in the phone book.
Dang.
All right. What else is new with me besides that I started my own business and have 0 clients so far?
Oh, oh. I got.
Let's see. I got engaged for some reason.
Oh, still
Um,
on? Holy frick!
yeah, I know it's crazy.
Dang, I
Um,
owe some money.
I was waiting for the longest time for her to like deserve it, but then I just got tired. So,
What the frick?
um, what else is new with me? I got nothing. I'm still working at a health department in a pandemic. Like,
That's
it's
opportune.
it's not great.
It's like working for a movie theater when Spider-Man drops. It's like, oh, okay, let's find a new occupation.
I loved Spider-Man. I
I
know you're
didn't see it. I probably won't ever see it.
I know you're not a big MCU fan, but
Mhm.
I would strongly encourage you to sit through all 30 of those movies just to watch Spider-Man No Way Home.
Never saw any of the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans either. So
Those are the ones with Andrew Garfield.
one of them, the one of the not Tom Hollands.
Wait, no, Ran is the
Sam Raimi.
is
I think he was
he's
Amazing
the Toby,
Spider-Man.
he's the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Is that the one with
Tobey Maguire.
I don't know who Tobey Maguire is, but I know faces. I suck with actor
The
names. I'll
Pizza
be
Time
honest.
guy. It's Pizza Time. That guy?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Everybody claims that he's the best Spider-Man, and they're just all wrong. He's the third best Spider-Man. His movies aren't that great. They're really solid. They're better than the Amazing Spider-Man movies. But he himself is not a better Spider-Man than the other two. So
The only ones I've seen are the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies because my brother made me watch them, and I wanted to punch myself in the face because like I get they were trying to be funny and relatable, but I just rolled my eyes the whole movie.
that's just a really stupid take.
Maybe that's just me being a pretentious little piece of garbage that just can't enjoy a little family fun movie.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't in the right headset. Like
yeah.
maybe if I was just like hanging out, like oh maybe I'll watch Spider Man, I would have enjoyed it. But I didn't want to watch it. But my brother's like kick rocks for watching it, and I was like okay, it wasn't fun.
I'm gonna call you Martin Mamba.
Martin,
Yeah,
Martin,
Martin Scorsese.
Oh, Marvel's not real cinema, not real art, whatever he said.
Yeah, the first few Spider-Mans are okay. The middle two Spider-Mans suck, but the Andrew Garfield's a really good Spider-Man, and then all of Spider-Mans with Tom Holland are really, really good movies.
Eh,
Besides
not real cinema.
Mini Martin over here.
Mini Martin.
Speaking of the Indians, Guardians,
Oh, golly, man.
I apologize.
That's number 2 racist.
Speaking about that C, um, the MLB shop had a massive sale yesterday or a couple days ago for like
Mhm.
Indians merchandise.
I'll clearing it out.
Client trying to clear it out, and like everything was like 70% off.
Oh, where the frick was I, man?
I should have texted you. That's my fault.
Yeah, the frick.
Okay, Matthew. I bought 20 things from the MLB shop, right? And my
Is it all
final,
clothing related,
yes,
or is it like
it's all clothing.
Oh, okay.
Half of it's for me, half of it's for my fiance.
So your
My final,
fiance's racist too. Interesting.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's good. All right, so half of it's me, half of it's for my fiance. My total was 222.85.
That's a fun number.
Right. Which that's a nice chunk of change. I don't make that much money, but for 20
Sure.
items of clothing and like
Heck yeah.
I won't like I will say like it's hoodies, Nike stuff, which is always expensive, stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
not too bad. Man,
Mhm.
I totaled up my what the MSRP cost would be for it. Take a guess.
I'm gonna say this is like Price is Right. Holy frick! I don't want to overbid here. $1,100, Bob.
That was like really good. I think I was like 10.87 or something.
Oh, I'm just over though.
I
Oh, some
know.
bit of dollar just freaking has taken my new car. You
I,
piece of garbage.
I know. That was a pretty good guess, though.
Yeah, well, take it. In every other context of guessing, that was a good guess. But Price is Right just said you suck.
Oh yeah, no. Price is Right rules. Like that's the only rules that you follow by in life.
Yeah, Price is Right is just like, hey, play it safe. It'll pay off.
Is Price is Right the best game show?
No, I'm
Okay.
not one of those snobs that's gonna say Jeopardy because I don't believe that.
No, Jeopardy's not the best game show, and anybody that says it's just a loser.
Because let's be real, if you're watching Jeopardy, you don't know 80% of the questions
Oh,
either.
absolutely not. I will say
You got half an idea of what the answer is, but you don't actually know. So if you were in this situation with you wouldn't have buzzed in because you didn't know it.
I watched some Jeopardy the other day though, and like probably like 40% of Double Jeopardy, like I knew.
There's some categories, but if you got a category and you're rolling,
Oh
you
yeah.
feel like a freaking
Oh
genius.
yeah.
I don't know what the greatest game show of all time is, though. That's a good question. We should do a game show tier list one
We
day.
should do a game show tier list or a game show draft or something.
Oh, a draft. Nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Wheel of Fortune,
Well, Fortune's a good one.
Family Feud.
I always like Deal or No Deal, but I just hated how half of the show is Howie Mandel. Like, dude, like you could take that deal and change your life, or you could give us more ratings and potentially bankrupt your family and pick another freaking case. That sounds better, right?
Deal or No Deal was just so scripted. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like there was one, I remember this so vividly that there was one episode of this guy and he was the biggest Colts fan. And like, he was a big Peyton Manning fan. And what number did Peyton Manning wear, Matthew?
18.
And they had Peyton Manning come out with the guy and everything. And guess what case the $1 million was in, Matthew?
Was it 18?
It was in 18.
Oh, see, so they do like a where they like we're like, okay, we're overdue for giving someone $1 million.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people. Oh my god! For the most part, they do not want you to get the big freaking prizes. Let's be real here, folks. So when you say your wedding anniversary, you know they ask these things before you get on the show.
Oh, yeah,
So when you
absolutely.
say your wedding anniversary is on the 11th, don't pick number 11. They know that's a number you're likely to pick. They're not going to put the $1 million in there. You freaking idiot. So like if I was on Deal or No Deal, and I'd say how big a Kobe fan I am, I'm not picking 8 or 24. You go outside of the realms of what they know about you. Come on.
Unless they're like, hey, you know what? Someone winning $1 million would, you know, boost our ratings.
Yeah, but like that's one in how many contestants?
That's true.
Unless you got like freaking some rare skin cancer and you got 2 days left to live, and they're like, this will be a real good feel good story. They're not giving you the $1 million. You're a freaking white person from the suburbs. You don't deserve it. All right.
Great scenario, Matt. Great scenario there.
This is ridiculous. That's why I can't watch America's Got Talent, because you got these real talented people, but then you got this like, I don't want to be mean.
Oh. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
You got this dude that's like, I got hit by a car and I lost my daughter and my wife. I'm gonna sing Camptown Races. Here we go, and he gets the golden buzzer. Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, you know what?
This guy played the piano while eating a whole bowl of spaghetti, and he has to compete for his life for the next round. Are you kidding me? I don't even know if that's a thing. I'll be honest.
You're absolutely right. And out of all the game shows, I guess you can call America's Got Talent a game show. It's the worst one.
America's Got Talent?
Yeah.
Out of all like the competition shows?
Yeah, I'll go with competition shows. It's probably the worst one.
American Idol's pretty
Besides,
bad.
like, all the trash that's, like, on, like, CBS besides Big Brother.
The Masked freaking Juggler. I know those juggling hands anywhere. That's Willem Dafoe.
The Masked Singer is worse. I apologize.
Yeah, Masked Singer's the worst. Because oh my god, my mom watches it all the time and it ticks me off because all the judges are like, that's Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt's not coming on your piece of trash show. That's a real housewife from Atlanta. That's who that is. That's not a real celebrity. Get out of here with Brad Pitt coming on your freaking show singing a song by freaking Ariana Grande.
One of the things that I hate about the Masked Singer is like,
Gotcha.
and like, you know, America's Got Talent and all that will do this too, is like whenever there's like a famous person, like they act like they know the person, and it's obviously scripted. Because like they had Barry Zito on, And like all the hosts were like, "Oh, it's Barry Zito." Like none of these hosts know who Barry Zito is. Like Barry Zito's a very good MLB, used to be a very good
Sure.
pitcher. Like I'm not gonna take anything away from him, but
Yeah.
come on, like what celebrities know who Barry Zito is?
I forgot who Barry Zito was before, and I'm like, oh, Barry, yeah, I remember you. Weren't you on the A's or something?
Yeah, he was on the A's and then the Giants. But like Ken John doesn't know who Barry Zito is. And then there was who was the guy? He was like the lawn snapper for like the Eagles, like John Duverhouse or something like that. And he went on America's Got Talent and he was doing magic. And he's
Oh, heck, yeah.
he's a fine magician. Like,
Sure.
he's not blowing any minds or anything, but he got through like a couple rounds, I think. But he said his name and Howie Mandel was like, where do I recognize that name from? And right, exactly. Like, and he was like, "Are you a sports guy?" And Howie Mandel's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I'm a lawn snapper for the Philadelphia Eagles." Matt, I'm not kidding. I barely know Charlie Hewitt's name for the Browns. Like,
I don't know who the Packers long snapper is.
exactly.
And it's not like if you're a casual sports fan, you're watching the broadcast and Al Michaels is like, here comes Poopy Doobie for the long snap.
Right.
No, it's always the kicker. They announce the kicker.
Right.
Maybe they'll announce the holder.
Yeah. And usually when they announce the holder, it's like a bad snap by this guy. Whoops.
Yeah, yeah. So like the only way you're known is if you absolutely freaking suck at snapping.
Yeah. So kick
Get the
rocks
frick out of here,
Howie
Howie
Mandel.
Yeah,
You almost said Howie Roseman, I think.
I don't know who that is, so no, I didn't.
Okay, never mind. I don't think I know who Howie Roseman is.
Oh gosh, here comes a Google.
Howie Roseman. Oh,
Howie
yeah,
Roseman
yeah.
was a
He's
KKK member. It's like, wow, how'd you know that name, Casey?
no, he's the GM for the Eagles.
Oh,
He's
same
the guy,
thing.
He's the guy that drafted Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson.
So yeah, same thing as
Yeah,
KKK.
big. Oh, well,
Well, probably for me. Dude, how do you draft Jalen Reagor?
I'm part of the Brown Mama Show and Home Plate Marketing. We do not share the same views as Matt Mamba over here.
Well, would you rather be in the KKK or draft Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson?
I'm not doing this. I'm not having this discussion. What would you do, Matthew?
Ooh, let's see. Tank my NFL credibility,
All right.
or
What's the NFL looking like to you, Matt?
it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, the Packers look really beatable. I don't know how much of that is injuries because they've been pretty banged up on defense.
We ain't got no O-line left, man.
What do you mean?
Bakhtiari's still not back. Elton Jenkins is out for the year with a torn something. Billy Turner got hurt. Josh Myers, our rookie center, still out.
Yeah,
Royce Newman our only remaining starter's a rookie.
They threw together like a makeshift line this entire year, and they've been pretty good.
It's been working. Yeah, we've been adapting. Just quick reads for Aaron. Get the ball out quick. I don't know. It's been working.
Yeah.
I'd like to run the ball more, but I can understand.
They still look beatable though. Like,
They do, but we keep winning games.
yeah, that's all that matters, I guess.
Sure.
I mean,
I know there was some guy that's like, the Packers DVOA is like 10th. So, like, are they actually Super Bowl favorites? Oh, I'm sorry. We have the best record in football. My mistake. Silly me.
yeah, I mean, they're gonna win their division, obviously.
Well, we already did.
I was about to say I'm pretty sure they clinched it. They're probably gonna win.
Yeah.
They're probably gonna have the 1 seed. I don't know if you can just hear
Oh, yeah.
pots and
sounds
pans
like
having
you're getting robbed right now.
Right.
You need to stop this recording and stop those robbers.
I'm pretty sure there's just a WWE match going on in my background, and someone just used a steel pan to smack over the back of somebody. It's
Sounds like
still
your
going
mom-
on.
Your mom is being attacked, and she's throwing absolutely everything at this
She
person.
is giving she's everything but the kitchen sink, and even then, like the kitchen sink might be
The
going.
kitchen sink has been thrown, man.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So they'll probably get the 1 seed because who do they face?
Hopefully. They got the Vikings.
right.
We got Vikings and Lions left.
Yeah, they should easily get that.
So if we win out, we get it. But if we lose and the Cowboys win out, then they get it. because they have more NFC wins than us.
Okay, Cowboys have to face the Cardinals and the Eagles, so that's
Tough,
two
tough.
that's two not easy games.
Vikings aren't easy. I'll be honest. They've already
A
beat us
very
once.
bad Browns team beat them.
We barely scraped by with whoever the frick the Ravens quarterback was and the Browns. So I don't know. Nothing's guaranteed, but I'm always confident we'll get the win.
And they lost to the Lions.
Who, the Packers? No, we didn't.
The Vikings.
Oh yeah, they did. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. They almost lost to the Panthers.
They did. Every game's been close for the Vikings.
Every game's been close for the Lions.
Oh yeah, aren't they like the spread kings or something?
Yeah. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I like how 7 was a big question, but then you just said 8 right away.
9 games have 9 games they've lost within one score, and looks like at least 12 games they've lost within like a score and a field goal or something.
Is that the Lions or the Vikings?
Lions.
Oh.
Yeah.
They got what, 2 wins now?
Yes.
And a tie with the Steelers?
Tie with the Steelers.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys are pretenders like always.
I don't know. I wouldn't like to play them.
I'm
I'm not scared of their defense like everyone else.
They don't have a defense.
Everyone's like, oh, Trayvon Diggs has freaking this many interceptions.
Yeah, but he's like...
I would prefer my corner. I would prefer my cornerback not get thrown at that many times. How about that? When Jair Alexander's in the game, nobody throws to him.
I'm gonna watch what I say, because Trayvon Diggs, I feel like, is a very good player.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying everyone's saying defensive player of the year for Trayvon Diggs, and I'm like, no.
Micah Parsons.
I can understand.
Michael Parsons is a very good football player.
Sure.
They got something going there, but like Trayvon Diggs is just not as good as what people are saying. Now I feel like he will be. I feel like he'll be a very good football player these years to come.
Yeah.
But right now he's not it.
Well, I guess a comparison I've always made in my head is I remember growing up, and a season I remember of a cornerback having a lot of interceptions was Antonio Cromartie from the Chargers.
Yeah.
And solid cornerback, but no one ever considered him like the best corner or like top tier, But he was always like, you'd like to have him on your team. He's a good player.
No, I mean, I feel like the only exception to that is Darrelle Revis.
He was elite corner.
I mean, he, like, for the most part, like, teams just didn't throw to whatever side of the field he was on. And,
sure.
like, he still had, like, 11 interceptions, like, a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like he's the only exception. But yeah, I mean, I'm not thrilled on the Cowboys. Like, I have my personal feel, or I guess not personal, but I'm still on the Dak sucks train, even though he's played so good this year.
He's had some rough patches this year, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and just say, having his leg turn into a 9-iron and trying to come back from that,
sure.
I'm sure is gonna slow him down a little bit. Just a little bit.
I wouldn't have the confidence to walk again if that was me. I'll be honest. No. Every step I take, I'm like, this could be it again.
I don't know how to feel about the Eagles because I really just don't know how to feel about Jalen Hurts.
Everyone's like hyping him up every time I turn the Eagles game on. The commentators are like, I tell you, every playoff team's like, I don't want to face that team, and I'm like, I mean, I'll take them.
Yeah,
if we fall to the 2 seed, sure, I'll play him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, 61% completion rating, like that's fine. 2,900.
Supposed to be scared of Darius Slay. I don't know.
Right.
What's so?
2,900 yards passing, like that's not great right now. 16 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, like.
Does he have a lot of rushing touchdowns? I'm guessing probably.
Probably. He has 10 rushing touchdowns. So I mean,
there you go.
Yeah.
26. That's not bad.
No, that's not like horrible, but like I'm
not scared they're gonna wreck my season though.
No, absolutely not. And that defense isn't good either.
Darius Slay, that's the only guy. Is Fletcher Cox still there? Those are the only 2.
I was gonna say Zach Ertz, but he's not there. Dallas Goedert's a good tight end. That's all I got. Miles Sanders, they like completely
Am I supposed to be scared of a rookie receiver? What? Like,
Right.
what?
I've got nothing for the Eagles. I don't know how they have 8 wins. It's probably all within the division. I'm gonna guess. And the Jets, my fault.
And the Jets.
Within the division, and the Jets, and Lions and Broncos.
Dear God. Okay.
So,
Good for you, Eagles.
Rams are gonna win the Super Bowl probably.
They're not, dude. They're not. Oh my God. I'm will. No, I already made a bet.
You already did make a bet.
I was gonna make a bet, like just the spur of the moment, to say they're not even gonna make it to the NFC Championship game, but
That's it.
I'm not willing. I'm not willing to risk that.
Yeah, I wouldn't risk that. I mean, they just look so good. Like even when Stafford isn't on, I mean, the running game is just.
Sony Michel does look good.
Sony Michel's
in
looking
the
good.
absence of Darrell Henderson, he looks good.
Yeah. And they're getting Cam Akers back, which I have my personal hatred of Cam Akers, but I'm sure that's just another weapon that they can use.
Sure.
But yeah,
Packers
I mean,
already beat the Rams, so just saying.
what's that?
Packers already beat the Rams. I'm just saying.
Okay. Last year, did the Packers beat the Buccaneers in the regular season? Or did they even?
I gotta go. Taking me off.
A couple years before that, didn't the Packers beat the Saints in the regular season? And
That didn't count. That was preseason. We weren't informed that was week 1. We were not made aware of the shortened preseason.
right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cardinals are
I know.
pretenders mainly just because their head coach is awful.
Yeah. Did you see that stat I tweeted out about Kingsbury's record after week whatever?
No.
It was bad.
Was it?
He had like a 70% winning percentage before week 8 or something. And then like after week 8, it dropped to like 40% winning percentage or something. It was something ridiculous. I can't pull it up now, but they fell apart so many times, man.
You know, I'll say this. I'll say this for what the Packers have going for them and what the Rams and Cardinals don't is their head coach.
Yeah,
You know,
not a handsome head coach.
I mean, Sean McVay.
No.
I mean,
Hey, let me introduce you to my friend, and that guy comes rolling out with his freaking clipboard and his freaking track shoes. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, let's settle down. No, you're running.
yeah, okay, all right. You okay?
You know what? Hot take. I don't know anything about Sean McVay, but he beats women. I feel it. I lost after a Sunday.
As a joke, right?
Oh yeah, sorry, legally as a joke.
Yeah.
That man beats women every Sunday, every primetime loss. Holy cow! Look out. But you know, he seems like a nice guy.
All right, I can't wait to make that the title.
No.
Let's see. So yeah, I mean the Rams and Cardinals both have bad head coaches that everybody seems to adore, and the Packers.
Oh, you don't like McVay?
No, McVay's just average.
Sure. Okay.
I don't think he's a bad, I don't think he's a bad head coach, but I think he's just an average head coach.
I think he's a very smart person,
Yeah, sure.
but you can't be stupid and be an NFL head coach. But
Freddie Kitchens.
come on, man. He still probably knows so much more about football than we do.
Oh, maybe him.
You were like, no, maybe. Okay.
Jason Garrett.
Jason Garrett. Listen,
Pat
if you need 8 wins, Jason Garrett will get you 8
That's true.
wins.
Getting 8 wins is a lot more than a lot of Browns head coaches could ever get.
Sure.
And he did that consistently. Like
Absolutely.
consistently 8 wins.
Mm-hmm. It's commendable.
Pat Shurmur just knows nothing about football.
Pat Shurmur. He's somewhere still.
Yeah, he's
Giants?
Broncos.
Something. But it's
He
fine.
was Giants last year. Pretty sure
Oh,
it's Broncos now.
Kitchens is still with the
still
Giants.
with the Broncos. Kitchens is with the Giants.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So we talked about the Packers. The rest of the North looks bad. What's your take on Justin Fields?
I don't want to say he sucks already. I think he's shown promise. I think he's shown the ability to make plays and be able to change games, but he's still a rookie on the Chicago Bears. So his cap's a little lower.
Do you think they bring Matt Nagy back?
from the way it sounds, it's just he's a dead man walking. But
Right.
just pull the Band-Aid off, Bears. He knows he's gone. Just
What do you think about that? What do you think about firing head coaches in the middle of the season? Like, do you think it's worth it, or is it just like, well, might as well tank for the draft pick?
well, it's kind of weird because Nagy has to know at this point. It's a high possibility he's probably gone.
Right.
He has to know. So maybe they even told him like you're gone, but they're not making it official yet. I don't know what the frig it is. I don't see any problem in Matt Nagy's situation of firing him midseason.
Did you see when that non-confirmed report came out about Nagy being fired? That like a bunch of
Oh yeah,
the players came up to him and shake his hands like it was a pleasure working with you.
that's hilarious.
Like, is like Dan Campbell a good head coach,
I
or
don't know yet. Everyone, the guy
like he was
has a tear, and everyone's like, "That's the coach I want." It's like I
like
would prefer to not see my coaches crying because they win, but
I,
it's fine. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm
like,
not gonna say he sucks already.
he seems like the ultimate player coach, and like
Well, he was a player.
his guys definitely like gravitate towards him and like are
Sure.
like all in on his culture. And he did inherit just a god awful roster.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't think the Lions would be able to compete this consistently week to week.
Yeah,
Because like you look at the Lions games every week, they're in it. So it's not like they're getting absolutely destroyed. It's kind of like the Browns when they went 0-16. Like it's kind of deceptive because they were in a lot of those games.
you
Come
lost
on.
me there.
What was that? The Deshaun Kaiser? They were.
That
It was
wasn't
a lot
Deshaun
of close
Kaiser
games,
year.
man.
That's
There was a
true.
lot of close games there.
That's true. All right, you know what? You have you have turned my view, and I am now one thumbs up for Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I think an important thing to show is like you don't lose the locker room within
Yeah.
the first year or two of
And
you being the coach.
It seems
That's
like
what I-
the locker room has just gotten stronger and stronger, like every single loss.
Sure.
Okay, and then the Buccaneers are just going to lose immediately in the playoffs, and then that's
I
all.
said that last year.
That's
but
all. Yeah, that's true.
quick.
That's all I've got for the NFC. Any other hot takes that I have? Oh yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo sucks, and I've been saying that for years now, and people are like, "Oh wow, he sucks now." How about that?
He's a middle quarterback. He's not. The 49ers
No,
need to get rid of
he's
him.
not a middle quarterback. He sucks.
Yes, he is.
He sucks.
He is an average starting quarterback.
He sucks. Yeah,
He's
if the
an
average starting quarterback sucks, then he's an average starting
He
quarterback.
should not. The 49ers could be a contender. They need to get a better quarterback.
I don't know. Trey Lance is that guy, but he's probably better.
We'll see this week, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. And then
How's the Brownies looking?
not great.
Oh boy.
I have like no faith in this team whatsoever. That's pretty cool. Because like the entire season's just depending on the defense, and I have no faith in our defensive coordinator.
Mr. Joe Woods.
Yeah, or half the bums they trot out there.
Nice. So
Which,
like are you
I mean-
even rooting for the playoffs? Come on.
Oh yeah,
now.
of course.
You think they can do it?
I think the only way they get into the playoffs is if Baker plays good. So if that means that Baker is playing good to get into the playoffs, then yeah, let's see what happens. But I don't think I don't think they get into the playoffs unless Baker plays good.
But Steelers beatable.
Very
Bengals
beatable.
beatable. Both teams are beatable. You already beat the Bengals once.
I feel like that's a fluke.
Okay.
I feel like that's a big fluke.
The Packers went over the Bengals. Now that was a fluke.
Yeah,
So many missed field goals.
yeah.
But it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, the Bengals are like a really good team. Like with the exception of like the collapse of the Browns, the AFC North looks almost exactly like I thought it would this year. Like, I thought the Steelers were going to be the worst team, and they were still going to be, close to the race. And I mean, technically the Browns are in last place right now, but let's not act like the Steelers aren't the worst team in the division. I thought the league was going to finally figure out Lamar Jackson, and I will say I'll give him some credit, or I guess not credit, but some pass because he's been injured. But it seems like the league has at least figured out the offense, if not figured out Lamar Jackson. And the Bengals are looking like a really promising team, and that's exactly what I said.
I'm trying to remember what I predicted for those
I
teams,
think it was
and
close.
I'm
I think it
worried
was.
about the Bengals.
I think you and I
I
were
know I
pretty
gave the Steelers a
close.
bad record.
I feel like you gave the Ravens the division.
Yeah, I think I gave the Bengals a really bad record.
You think so?
I think I may have said they're like a 3 or 4 win team. I don't know.
Mm.
I'm scared, but it's all good.
But I mean, the Browns have everything besides a good quarterback right now, and I'm still a Baker fan. I think they should bring him back next year, unless they can get Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. But like those are the only two guys that I think the only two realistic guys, right? Like, is
I don't
anybody?
know. People have been tossing around Deshaun Watson's name, but is that really worth the
No,
headache?
because he's not good.
No.
Um,
Oh, you didn't even like Deshaun Watson before all the
exactly.
poop hit the fan.
Yeah,
It's not worth it, man.
it's just
It's
not,
not worth it.
especially with the draft
Even
picks that
if,
you have to give away.
especially even if all the freaking allegations sort themselves out, you don't think there's going to be more in the future.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's like, whether it's true or not, there's going to be more allegations in the future, most likely.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
It's not a headache that I would want to deal with.
our fan base is turned on Baker, and understandably, he's not played good, but at the same time, he's our best option that we have in brown and orange right now for quarterback by far,
Sure.
and
What about Case Keenum?
he's not a good quarterback.
Interesting.
I would say like out of like 40 quarterbacks, he might be the 40th,
Oh, come on. Give
maybe
him 37.
35.
Oh, heck yeah. Okay. Hang on a second. He is a good backup.
He's fine. I like Nick Mullins more of a backup than Case Keenum.
I didn't watch enough of Nick Mullins because I didn't watch enough of that Raiders game.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
third most passing yards through like what, your first 16 games or something in the NFL. Like that has to mean something.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I feel like they gave him a very limited playbook.
Yeah,
with
that's
that
true.
game too.
That's true. That's a good point. I don't know if the Bills or the Patriots are pretenders or contenders.
Um, I would be more scared of the Bills than the Patriots.
Just because of like Stephon Diggs.
But Patriots are a good team. Wait, what?
Just because of like Stephon Diggs and everything.
Well, sure. I think Josh Allen's had enough experience now. I think he's gotten all of his playoff hiccups out of the way. Has he? Does he still have more playoff hiccups in him?
I don't know. I mean, like he just hasn't had like a great year though. Like that defense is still really good for the Bills.
He hasn't been super consistent. Sure.
But
that Patriots defense is pretty solid as well.
Yeah,
I think the Bills are also quicker to abandon the run, which could be a big problem at some point in the playoffs.
And it's not like the running backs are good. It's like what, Devin Singletary and Zach Moss or something like that. It's not a great combo. I don't know if the Dolphins are going to bring back Tua next year or not, but like he's definitely earned at least some consideration. Chiefs look like they're probably the best team in the AFC again after an awful start. I mean, they look exactly like what I thought they were going to look like.
Dang it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's frustrating. Like, I really want to see.
I don't know. The Colts have been pretty scary too when they're healthy.
Have they though? Like, Carson Wentz isn't great.
I know Carson Wentz. I know, but that O line with Jonathan Taylor.
I know.
You got it. They're gonna make you. They're gonna make you stop the run before they let Carson Wentz do anything.
But like,
it's gonna be pretty tough to stop that run.
It is tough, but I feel like most teams in the playoff have the capability to stop the run. Like, what happens when you stop the run? And you're the Colts.
I think Carson Wentz has done a good job this year of lowering the turnovers, but I think that's mostly because no one's really had much of an answer of Jonathan Taylor,
right?
And that offensive line.
And like Michael Pittman's really emerged as a really good wide receiver,
good player.
But I don't know if I have faith in Carson Wentz.
I don't know.
Actually, I don't. I know I don't have faith in Carson.
Yeah, I didn't think so before coming into the season, but I think lowering the turnovers has really helped. But then again, let's see him with a little more adversity in the playoffs and see how he does, I guess.
Right.
So
Besides that, Titans I think are pretenders. I don't understand how they're 10-5
even with Derrick Henry, I still would say they're like the third or fourth best team
at
in the
most.
AFC.
Yeah. Um, Besides that, I mean, I'd like to see the Chargers play, but I don't know if they're just good enough.
They might squeak in.
What does the playoffs look like right now? Like, so it's Bengals, Titans, Colts, Chiefs, Bills, Patriots. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think the Chargers are going to squeak in, which sucks, but especially since the Patriots play the Jags and the Dolphins.
Oh my gosh! Thank you.
Yeah, Urban Meyer got fired since we last spoke.
I knew he would. I was trying to look back at some old episodes of our show because I knew I said Urban Meyer wouldn't last long,
Right.
but I couldn't find it. But I think I was generous and said like he wouldn't last more than like 2 or 3 years. Dear God, man, the man barely beat out Tebow.
I said it multiple times. I even said it, when he was at Ohio State and he was an analyst before he even got the head coach job, and people talked about it as like Urban Meyer's not a good head coach. I'm gonna say that just outright. He's not a good head coach. He wasn't a good college head coach at all. Um, Incredible recruiter.
Sure.
One of the best recruiters of all time, but he just was not a good college head coach. And you wanted to take that guy where his only strength is basically taken away in the NFL, and put him in the NFL. And I didn't expect a train wreck to happen that fast. I thought a year, two at most. Week 13, I don't think anybody had the Price is Right rules on that one.
He was a leaked photo in a bar with a young girl away from chucking this all up to health problems again.
Oh,
But
yeah.
so many scandals have
That's a
happened where they're
shame.
just like, you know what? Bye bye.
That's a,
Okay,
that
get him
is
out of here.
that is a shame we get to miss out on that part of the story. However, I feel like it was a gain
Yeah,
because of the bar
addition
photo.
by subtraction right there.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
want
didn't think that was real when it was trending on Twitter. I'm
I
like,
didn't
that's
either.
gotta. I thought it was gonna be like a lookalike or something,
Right.
and then I was like, it's him. That's Mr.
That's
Meyer.
urban. That's
Holy frick!
yeah, yeah. I don't know what he was thinking, but I don't think he was
Sometimes.
thinking. Um,
How
yeah,
long until he gets back into college?
I think he's done.
Really? You think
Probably
Urban
until Notre
Meyer's
Dame calls him in a couple of years.
college football head coaches? There's just something about their egos where it's just like, you know what? I do want to be the most popular man on a campus of young adults again. I would like to be adored by those people again.
That's a good point. I haven't thought about that, but no, yeah,
That's why Harbaugh's never coming back to the NFL. That dude's gonna stay there forever.
yeah, yeah. Especially now that he's beaten Ohio State. I
For
mean that
once.
once they're ready to give him a lifetime contract because of that. All right, so I've mentioned this before,
Oh boy.
and you're not a fan of the idea. But inevitably in the offseason, when Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers come to the Browns.
Man, what?
Okay, so picture this scenario, and it's probably most likely the truth. Aaron Rodgers is not going to be a Packer next year, probably.
Nope, not buying it.
You don't you think he's going to be back in the green and gold next year?
Well, he just had a press conference earlier this week where he said he's not gonna let the decision linger. He's gonna make a decision quickly within the offseason of whether he's gonna stay here, go to another team, or retire, because all three are up in the air right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, as a follow-up question, he said his relationship has been mended with Mr. Brian Pizza Crust. He said he has commended him for the great job he's done in Green Bay. And from what I've been hearing, from what Aaron's
Which
been
all
saying all
sounds like
season,
lies to me, but go ahead.
no, man. You know what? Brian Gutekunst is a Jordan Love draft pick away from winning GM of the year.
Right. Yeah, that's a big draft pick.
one bad. It's not even a bad pick. We don't even
It
know
is an
yet.
awful pick. We're not
No,
going to
it's
do
not,
this though.
man.
We're not going to do this.
We do it. We've
We're
done it
not
the
doing
last
this.
like 5 episodes.
We're
You
not
can
doing
kick
this.
rocks with your trash opinion. Gosh dang it. Let's just focus on acquires Devondre Campbell late in the offseason when no one wanted him. Now he's leading the team in tackles. Rajul Douglas been bouncing around freaking practice squads. Now all of a sudden the man's got like 6 picks, 2 pick sixes, and he won Defensive Player of the Week month. I don't know whatever frick. I don't know how the frick we got that. How he's gotten the depth at offensive line to keep this season alive is beautiful.
Impressive. I will say that.
AJ Dillon, that man's turning into a stud. Mostly because he had a conversation with me over Zoom.
Like his 30 yards a game, he's just really killing it.
Well, excuse me. He doesn't get the volume because he's got Aaron Jones in front of him, and he's also got Aaron Rodgers.
You know what's really smart GMing is drafting a backup running back in the second round.
Third string running back, thank you.
Third string running back that became a backup quarterback or a backup running back. That's
doesn't hurt to have depth, my guy.
A promotion always looks good on a resume, so.
I think Mr. Brian Gutekunst is all about depth, keeping the season alive, making sure if a person comes down, we got a next man up. We're still rolling for that Lombardi, baby.
You are. And the Packers look very good. Very beatable, though.
Sure. Every team looks... Name one team in the NFL that doesn't look beatable.
Right now, the Chiefs.
No.
Chiefs are the
Chargers almost beat them.
Almost.
Patrick Mahomes is a little risky. That defense isn't solid. Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's going down with injury. Have you not been watching Mahomes, man? There's some throws he makes where I'm like, yeah, that's why you're not in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, early in the year, absolutely. But when he was trying,
that game against the Chargers, that guy threw a freaking ball that made him look like Brucey in the Longest Yard remake by Adam Sandler. That's all I'm saying.
I'm trying to get that reference, but I just can't.
Brucey's the little guy who wanted to be quarterback, and he's like, "Let me be quarterback!" And he does that, and he threw it in the ground or something.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I mean, for me, it's the Chiefs. Like, Chiefs are the front runner for me right now.
I can understand that. I'm just saying,
they
look beatable too.
That defense has come together so well from the start. Like, they had a historically bad.
The defense is good enough, but it's beatable.
It's beatable, sure. Yeah, I guess every single team is beatable, but like I feel like there's a difference between we can beat these guys and being like, well, the 7-7 Cleveland Browns can beat these guys.
I guess
that's what the Packers look like right now.
We'll get better. We're getting healthy.
We'll get better.
We're getting
We'll get better.
We're getting healthier.
You are getting healthier. Jair Alexander's coming back, right?
Hopefully. Bakhtiari should come back, maybe. I don't know. Randall Cobb might be coming back for the playoffs. Who knows if he'll be back?
Yeah.
I don't know. We need to get some O-line help back. I don't know. Billy Turner might come back. As long as Aaron Rodgers is out there with his 9 toes.
Do you want the offensive line to come back to mess up the chemistry that they've had?
Yes.
Okay.
Dude, what the... Okay, let's talk about that one play from the Packers and Browns. It was 3rd and 1. We got big man A.J. Dillon. If we can't get a yard with A.J. Dillon, we deserve to punt the ball away. Instead, our left tackle gets hurt. We bring in Ben Braden. Do you know who Ben Braden is? I didn't know who Ben Braden is. He's our 4th string left tackle. Let's run a toss on his side of the football field with little man Aaron Jones against this Browns front to try and pick up a first down. How did that work out? I don't know.
I don't remember.
We were trying to lose that game. Let me just tell you. It sure looked like we were trying to lose that game.
You know what? Despite the Browns' best efforts, they have been in the playoff contention this entire year. Despite their best efforts to just absolutely tank this season.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly incredible.
It's impressive.
Like, okay, so that Browns game, I think Stefanski called a phenomenal game. I really do.
I think they should have went a little heavy on the run earlier. It took him a little longer. Maybe he was trying to get Baker going. I don't know.
Yeah, get Baker probably trying to get Baker into a rhythm, And I feel like at some points, like the Browns, like every time Baker like dropped back, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a first down. Like I feel like there were parts of the game where
Mm-hmm.
Baker and whatever toys and broken junk the Browns wide receiver corpses is they were just picking apart the Packers at some points,
Sure.
like consistently. And then he threw an interception, and then another interception, then one more, and then another. But
Yeah.
I felt I felt like they were in a pretty good rhythm, and it was good to see. But like you're on the 50-yard line, and you have a backup kicker who already missed an extra point, and you're playing in a cold Lambeau night.
Sure.
Who you can't tell me that we have 3 timeouts. Let's try and get 20 yards by just running it. Like you have to make throws at some point. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna kill Stefanski on that. Like, and especially there's this thing with these with Browns fans, and part of it is just that most of them are incompetent when it comes to football. Is that just because you run the ball doesn't mean it's going to be positive, and just because you run the ball a lot doesn't mean you're always going to get a
Sure.
positive result. Probably the more
Yeah.
you run it, the less likely positive result you're going to get later. And I just
It's almost like it's a balancing act of
Right.
in order to have an effective running game, the passing game still needs to be at least somewhat of a threat.
right. Besides that one
Yeah.
Patriots game,
Oh yeah.
but it's like I'm not going to kill Stefanski. I thought he called a great game.
Yeah.
I mean, earlier in the game, for some reason, we were putting fifth string cornerbacks and rookie safeties on single man Devontae Adams. Like that was, I don't know who came up with that game plan, but you know what? I'm sure the Packers weren't expecting it.
Sure.
I'm sure the Packers were expecting Denzel Ward to be on Devontae Adams early in the game, and I'm sure that's caught them by surprise before they just threw like touchdowns and nonstop first
I
down.
wouldn't have I would have expected Denzel to be shadowing him the whole game.
And
That's what I was
he
thinking.
did that the second half, and Devontae Adams was basically like non-existent the second half.
Gosh, he had 2 big drops in that final drive.
Yeah, I mean he had that huge drop.
Holy frick. That's a rare freaking occurrence right there.
So yeah,
But
I
still.
mean that Browns game just shows how close they are because they can beat a good team, but at the same time how far away they are because like just everything's wrong still.
I will say everyone was trashing Baker during that game just because I'm sure it's frustrating to see promising drives end in turnovers
Right.
and just like kill any momentum you had. But he looked good before those, and it just seemed like Baker was getting a little too full of himself.
Yeah.
And he's going up against Aaron Rodgers, and he's like, I can do that too. Back foot. Oh, frick.
That's been a thing with Baker. So like that first throw, that first interception was just like 50 yards downfield. Like, okay, he saw Donovan Peoples-Jones get held, and the ref didn't see it. Whatever. It's
Yeah.
whatever.
Aaron Rodgers went through a phase 2 where he thought, if I throw it near the penalty, they're going to
Right.
give me the penalty.
Exactly.
Maybe a big chunk play here. But
Honestly,
you
like
can't-
if
you can't rely on the refs, man.
right, if my quarterback's seeing that, then honestly, like I'm not too discouraged because that means he's seeing the field pretty well.
Sure.
But he still probably shouldn't have thrown that.
No, I got ticked when Rodgers used to do that. It was like 2015 to like 2018, and I'm like, dude, I get you're Aaron Rodgers and you think you're going to get every call, but my gosh, man,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
And then the second interception, he just threw off of his back foot with some of the worst mechanics that I've ever seen. And it's obvious that his injuries have affected his mechanics this year. The third interception to Landry, that's just got to be a better throw. At the same time, Landry slipped. I don't know what happens if Landry doesn't slip. I don't know if he's like still there to like bat the ball away. But it's just got to be a better throw. So that's all 3 of those are inexcusable. That fourth one, that was a hold. Like
Sure.
it was a hold. But like I said before,
I mean, the aerial view showed that he was holding him too, but I digress.
you can't be holding a wide receiver's arm. Like you just can't. But
I mean, it's not like he was doing it 20 yards downfield. It's just coming off of the 5 yards when he's able to freaking still do it.
yeah, it's coming off like the 5 yards, but he's staying with him like that for like a good 4 or 5 yards as well.
Also, how about a little? I mean, he pushed off, man. How can he go from holding a guy to doing this to now being? Also, it was a bad throw, but besides the point. and it was a physical. The refs were letting them play all game.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was a terribly called game. Just so
but kind
many
of the way.
obvious calls, but in the way where it wasn't like heavily favoriting one team, in my opinion.
Yeah, honestly, like
It was consistently trash.
I want my football games
Play
to be
call,
like that until they fix the pass interference penalty. I want
which they
like
never will.
they
They'll
just need
just
to
keep
they
making
just
it
need to make
worse,
it
and then
15
they'll
yards.
revert back,
They just need to make it 15 yards. Like
like college.
yeah, just stop making a spot penalty.
I mean,
Just
that's been Russell Wilson's the Seahawks' entire offense is let's chuck it downfield. Hopefully, we get a PI, or Russell Wilson makes another miraculous completion.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean, but like I said, I mean on that play, that happens at about 75% of pass plays, and it just isn't called.
Sure.
So it it's frustrating. I still think Baker's the guy for some reason. However, I'm not opposed to an upgrade.
I didn't walk away from the Browns game thinking Baker couldn't be a starter in the NFL. I just
I,
got to fix the turnovers. Man,
he's got to get
obviously, I'm
healthy
also
first.
oh for sure, and that's a thing I'm frustrated with Baker and the entire Browns organization too. Someone's got to be the person to go into this guy's ear and be like, "You're hurting this team right now.
Right.
You need to get better." If Baker needs to be able to be that guy, like evaluate himself and be like, "Okay, I got to suck it up and just say, let me just take a week or two off."
Right.
Or like someone in the coaching staff, someone in the training staff, teammates. It's just they're all just thinking, okay, maybe we'll figure it out.
Yeah, and I I thought about that before. Is like Baker has like all of the talent that you want from a franchise quarterback. I mean,
Yeah,
he has without a doubt one of the strongest arms in the NFL. Probably
yeah,
top 5, maybe top 3. Mahomes is
sure.
1, Josh Allen is 2, Herbert's probably 3.
Herbert, yeah,
After that, it's probably Baker,
sure.
Rodgers.
Well, yeah, I mean it's older, but he can still sling it.
Yeah, yeah. So he's
Tom Brady.
stop it.
Okay.
He's got a top 5 strong arm. When he's healthy, he was one of, if not the most accurate quarterback in the NFL. He
Yep.
is the best play action quarterback in the NFL, and I mean he's not like a runner, but he's still mobile and able to navigate the
Sure.
pocket. Obviously, I think he has the yips when it comes to like the pocket right now. Like he just doesn't want to get hit, and he's just pinballing off his lineman trying to get out of there. But like
Mm-hmm.
when he's confident, like he's able to move around. Like his pocket awareness was really solid. Like in the beginning of the year, he has all the tools, but it's just it's frustrating. It's frustrating because like we've seen like what he can be like last year, like
Yeah.
second half of last year, but we also see like he is still not anywhere close to polished.
And it's just been a constant thing of like, okay, well, let's see Baker Mayfield once he is able to learn the same offense for more than a year.
Right.
And then he gets that this year, and now he's hurt. So he's going to get this fifth year option unless something crazy happens.
I
And
think
that,
he'd already got it. Yeah.
so what happens now? Do they? Is this is his fifth year option year?
No, next year's his 5th-year option year.
Okay, so next year is his fifth year option. So that's like we've been saying, like, oh, this is the year Baker's got to prove it. This is literal. Next year is literally
Literally the year.
this is like, do we move forward with him or not?
It, there's two.
And you can tag him if he even shows like a bit of like he has another good year. You can tag him for another year.
Yeah. I
He's
mean,
got to at least do that.
if he shows he has a good year, like there's no reason to think that they won't work out contracts.
Sure.
But you're right. They can absolutely tag him. But the thing with Baker is like, I feel like everybody is being like, well, if he's injured, he shouldn't be playing. If he's playing, he's healthy. It's like, no, there's a big gap in between there. It's obvious like Rodgers' turf toe was affecting him a lot when he was, dealing with that. Uh, these injuries affect these guys. But it's like people forget like how good Baker looked the first 2 games before he got injured this year. Like that Chiefs game, I mean,
Mhm.
he was on fire. That Houston game, I think he was like 11 for 11 before he got injured. And it's like I mean, it's there. Like he's like everything's there. He's just got to put it together next year.
it's been like every year since this kid has come into the NFL
It's
is
always
literally
something.
like it's always something, and it's always like this is do or die for Baker Mayfield, and it's like what?
Yeah,
Why?
right. I think I will say, like, I feel like at the start of the year, the Browns got incredibly unlucky with how they were playing teams. Because, like, the Chiefs team that they played was the best version of the Chiefs this year, probably. The
Sure.
the Texans team that they played, even though they won, was probably the best version of the Texans this year. Uh,
Hmm.
Chargers scored 47 points. That was probably the best version of the Chargers. Best
Cardinals too.
best version of the Cardinals, best version of the Patriots. Like like a few of the
Yeah.
teams have just, and part of that's the defense because we have an incompetent moron calling plays over there, but
Hmm.
I part of the teams are just like when it's time to face the Browns, it's go time. So, but
Oh, this is something I wanted to say. Okay.
okay,
So I know we were hyping up Micah Parsons earlier, and the dude's having a great season.
phenomenal.
Probably going to be defensive rookie of the year,
Oh
right?
yeah, I don't think that's
And he's
even a
going to be a finalist for
defensive
defensive
player
player
there.
of the year. But this is something I was thinking about. What would the narrative be for Jeremiah Orosu Koromora
Owusu
if he was on the
Koromora.
Cowboys? Okay, so put him on the Cowboys. What's the hype for him looking like?
Oh,
Is it looking
he's like
similar
on
to Micah
social.
Parsons?
He's on social media, like from like ESPN and stuff like that, like nonstop. I mean,
So like,
like the same exact coverage, if not more.
right. So would he be in Defensive Player of the Year candidacy if he
Oh,
was lighting it up for the Dallas Cowboys?
right. I
Or
mean,
would he at least be getting that hype?
right. Part of it was he was injured, and
Sure.
and he's under Joe Woods' defense. But no, if he was doing the same things that he was doing for what he's doing now for the Cowboys over like a consistent healthy year, yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't be. I mean, the dude is so talented. Like
Hmm.
he is a game changer at linebacker.
And that was like a universally loved draft pick the second he was drafted.
Yeah,
Like I don't think there was anyone that's like, oh, that's a reach.
right.
All right, it seemed like he fell, and I was like, wow, how did the Browns get this guy at this position?
Right, exactly. People are saying like he was undersized, and I feel like that narrative more and more like of undersized players is really starting to go away in the league.
Hmm.
But like, yeah, like even like Greg Newsome, like people are like on the fence about, and Greg Newsome has played so well for the Browns this year. But it's like
Hmm.
they're like, oh well, he's got injury concerns, he's this and that. But it's like everybody loved JOK. Like I don't think there's one person that was like, oh yeah, that's a bad draft pick.
No, there wasn't. I remember like being at the draft and everyone was hyping it up, and then I went on Twitter and everyone was hyping it up. Any draft grade you would look at, that would be like one of the highest rated picks for the Browns. And I mean, it's been working perfectly.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if there's like a uh, some sort of algorithm to show like uh, value added to the team and draft value or something. But I'm sure he's right up there.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure football has some sort of stupid analytic that literally just does nothing besides be like, oh, well, look at this new thing that Chris Collinsworth company did. Bum.
Okay. All right.
Well, I don't think I got anything. Oh yeah, I was back on the Rodgers Devontae Adams.
Oh gosh.
So it's inevitable that Aaron Rodgers is not a Packer next year. No matter what you say.
Oh, he's staying.
No matter what you say, it is inevitable that Aaron Rodgers is a Packer next year. Or not a Packer next year.
It is. Okay. See, even your subconscious is like, yep, he's staying.
And Devontae Adams is absolutely not staying with the Packers if Aaron Rodgers is not there next year. I think that's a pretty fair stance to take.
I think it is very much more likely.
Right. So, wouldn't you, if they gotta go somewhere else, wouldn't you want to see them on the Browns, Matthew?
Absolutely. If they're not okay, first of all, like this is my want list. Like Packers with Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams,
Uh-huh.
Browns,
Right.
and then every other team is below my nuts.
Sure.
All right, so let's just get that out of the way. If he's not on the Packers, sure, bring him to Cleveland.
Right.
Because I still have yet to see Aaron Rodgers play in person. I would love to do that. All right. But I guess my only question is why would he come here?
Why not?
But why?
But why
Just
not?
like
I mean,
I've heard Broncos, I've heard Steelers, I've heard 49ers.
yeah, so let's
Why
break some of
the
those down.
Cleveland Browns?
Let's break some of
Okay,
those
sure.
down.
Let's dissect them.
Broncos, incredibly talented wide receiver core. Probably the most.
And you might
Probably
have to trade some of those people away in order to get Aaron Rodgers there.
Maybe.
Either that or a defensive player or two.
Maybe. But incredibly talented wide receiver core. Probably the most underrated one in the league.
Okay.
Defense is still
solid.
fine, but really starting to fall off.
I don't know.
So if Aaron Rodgers is on that team, I think they're a playoff contender. But I don't know if they're a Super Bowl contender.
Sharing a division also with Mahomes and Herbert.
That would be a fun division.
That is super... and Derek Carr. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Maybe.
So there's that. Steelers, incredibly talented wide receiver core.
Yeah.
An offensive line that's made of Swiss cheese. Really solid running back. Same with the Broncos. Broncos have Javonte Williams, Najee Harris. Really solid running back. That defense is really starting to fall apart too. If Rodgers is on the Steelers next year, playoff contender. I don't think a Super Bowl contender though.
Whoa.
What's the other teams? Raiders? Niners. If he can work well with Deebo Samuel, that's a great team. I mean, obviously they have a stooge for a head coach, but he's another moron. Just the entire NFC West just has horrible head coaches. That's my take. If you can click with Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk, which is pretty solid wide receiver core. It's not out of this world, but it's definitely cool.
The running game's still a problem, I'd say, with the Niners too.
Yeah, like the
Mostert coming back. Like, what are they doing there?
Right, Raheem Mostert, Trey Sermon, and Elijah Mitchell, and Jeff Wilson. Like, do any of those names excite you?
No.
No.
I mean, Sermon's a pretty cool last name, but he hasn't really done much.
Sermon is a pretty cool last name. Yeah, no, it's like people always talk about the Niners run game, and I will say Elijah Mitchell's played really well this year, but it's like none of these guys are studs. Like, these guys are flashes in the pan, and then same thing, it'll just be a revolving door. Browns. Okay, so Browns. Incredibly talented defense if their defensive coordinator's not there. Best O-line in the NFL.
Sure.
Best running back tandem in the NFL. Probably the best two running backs in the AFC, if I do say so myself.
I mean, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon's better, but it's okay.
Okay, you stop with the Packers fandom for a second. Best running back in the AFC, and then probably another top 10 running back in the AFC for the Browns.
Wow, really high on Dearness Johnson, eh?
Okay. Honestly, Dearness Johnson's probably going to be a San Francisco 49er. Like,
oh boy. Oh, you know what? That actually makes too much sense to not happen.
Yeah,
dang it.
I'm manifesting that right now. A really good tight end core. Wide receiver core needs some work.
Devontae would help that, honestly.
Devontae Adams and Jarvis Landry on a restructured contract, and Donovan Peoples-Jones sounds like a very good wide receiver core. Honestly, it sounds like Browns are Super Bowl contenders the more I'm talking about it.
You know what? The receiving core is pretty similar. So, like, Devontae, just move him over.
Right.
Jarvis is kind of like that Randall Cobb guy, that veteran that's... Yeah, I'd probably say Landry's better than Cobb right now.
Yeah.
And then Donovan Peoples-Jones is like that Marquez Valdez-Scantling, that vertical deep threat. Maybe, if he gets some better hands, maybe.
Yeah, I mean...
Is he speedy? Is he a speedy guy?
He's decently fast. Like, if you were to put him, like, in a tier, I'd say, like, he has, like a B tier speed. I know, like, Marquez is probably closer to, like, A tier. But,
sure.
I mean, he's still speedy.
Well, Schwartz, how about that? Schwartz is a speed guy that can't do anything productive right now.
Yeah. Boy,
every time I've seen him return a kick, I'm like, why are you doing that? I will bet you my entire life savings of $42 that you do not make it past the 25, and he never does.
Yeah, yeah. That is going to be one draft pick that I think Andrew Bayer is going to receive a lot of flack for when it's all said and done.
What round was he?
Third round.
Third. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought he just seems like a 6th round kind of guy, where it's like, oh, he's fast. I'll take a shot in the dark.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess Donovan Peoples-Jones is just more like a more productive Allen Lazard.
But Allen Lazard's a better blocker.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, I'm
I'm
sorry.
not going to talk about wide receiver and blocking.
I
That's
am.
like my least favorite topic.
I am. Dude, Allen Lazard's ability to block has opened his receiving games up so much because he's out there every single play and he's going out there pushing you for the first 5 yards. And you're in that mindset where you don't think he's actually going to run a freaking route, and then boom, you just got burned for 25 yards.
I'm going to say this about the Browns. It's those small things that just really frustrate me. It's like they care about wide receiver blocking and special teams ability, and like it just reminds me so much of how the Indians front office like values defense over hitting, and I'm sorry, Guardians front office like values defense over hitting, and it's just like, but why? Like, just get the playmakers. Like, don't worry about this bum crap.
I think I don't think that's a fair comparison. Because,
I mean, it's still important. Like, all of it's still important. Defense is still important in baseball. Wide receiver blocking is still important in football. But, like,
and the thing is that the freaking
much?
Guardians sucked at defense last year. They were the Indians last year. Okay, I'm going to call them the Indians.
Yeah.
They sucked. There was a few games where their sucky rotation of first baseman couldn't make a simple catch. Or Ahmed Rosario was making some suspect plays. And it's just like you're putting all this importance on it, and it's still costing us like 4 or 5 games a freaking year.
You know what, Matthew? I'm never gonna stop you from Indian/Guardian slander. That's
beautiful.
This is a safe space for that. You're allowed all the time.
Excellent.
Yeah. So. But yeah, I mean, things are looking okay for the Browns for next year. I think it just depends on if Baker can get healthy.
So what are the odds you place of Aaron Rodgers coming to the Brownies?
50-50. Either it happens or it doesn't.
You caught me off guard there.
I mean, I don't know. Like, if like 2-1 odds are really good, then I'd say probably like 100-1 odds. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
So you're not banking on Aaron Rodgers.
Oh God, no.
Okay.
I think the most likely, if not Baker Mayfield quarterback next year, is probably gonna be like Derek Carr.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. That's the response.
I feel like Derek Carr would rather just stay in Vegas at that point.
Would he?
And come to Cleveland.
Vegas isn't I mean, his wide receiving core isn't good.
He seems like a guy that's loyal to a fault.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, he knows he's not going to be this Hall of Fame quarterback, so you might as well be a Raiders legend, I guess, for stacking up these longevity records.
And now that his his biggest critic is gone from the head coaching position, who knows how they'll feel?
Yeah, I don't know. Derek Carr is weird. There's some games where he plays, but I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're still pretty good. And then there's some other games where I'm like, what are you doing, my guy?
Right. He's like, same with Ryan Tannehill. Like, I was watching Ryan Tannehill play. I think it's against the Steelers.
Oh God!
And it was like, every single pass, he just doesn't look like an NFL quarterback, but he's still like a really solid NFL quarterback. Like, I'm sure. I don't know if I still consider him top 10, but he's still close to being a top 10 NFL quarterback, in my opinion.
The way he's playing this year, he's not even a top 15 the way he's playing this year.
Part of that is like not having his receiving core for like half a season.
Sure. Offensive line's banged up. No Derrick Henry. That, yeah, obviously, sure. But I've been watching some Tannehill stuff, and I'm like, ooh, that's rough.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, when your best wide receiver is Nick Ikeen Westbrook.
Oh, my gosh.
I bet you didn't even know that guy exists. I bet you guys
didn't even... When your best receiver is owned by 3% of fantasy football teams, we got a problem.
I bet you didn't even know that name existed.
I knew it existed because sometimes on the bottom of the screen you would see that name, and you're like, what the frick was that? Was that a what the heck was going on there? Is that a
Uh,
new pandemic disease that's
yeah.
going around?
Yeah. Okay. Here's a question for you. So
No.
when Aaron Rodgers does leave,
I see you're so convinced he's leaving, and
what's
I'm here to tell you you need to get your expectations. If we somehow mess up again this season, this postseason, and we don't win at all, he might run it back.
what is your confidence level in Jordan Love?
Interesting question.
Because he played one game
Yes, it was
and it
against the
was
Chiefs,
against
and
the
they
Chiefs.
absolutely they blitzed him to death.
So that is my big worry about Jordan Love. Is because every single blitz that the Chiefs gave to him, he threw that ball at about a 85-degree angle.
It's just, I have never seen the offensive line just. And I don't know if that's, Aaron Rodgers is able to identify things that
Sure.
Jordan Love just isn't seeing yet. Also doesn't help that Aaron Rodgers wasn't even on the sidelines for him. That man was talking with Dr. Rogan some way over Zoom. But I don't know. It was tough to really evaluate him, and I was like really looking forward to it because I'm like, all he's got to do, put together a couple nice drives. He did put together a solid enough touchdown drive to make because it was still a game at
Yeah.
that point,
Yeah.
I guess. So there was a few throws where he's throwing it away, and I'm like, don't do that. You can't do that in the NFL. There's a turnover. Okay, I just that's the thing the Packers are going to have to deal with because they're kind of like obviously they've had a lot of first team reps with him not practicing with the toe,
Right.
but they have to see enough to say, hey, Aaron Rodgers, kick rocks. Hey, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play this game, kick rocks. We're moving on with him. And that's the thing of people saying, well, the Packers saw enough out of Aaron Rodgers to move on from Brett Favre. But did they?
No, he retired.
They forced him out.
You
Let's
think?
be real. Absolutely, they forced that guy out. Even Favre admitted, he was like, I was still making my mind up about whether I wanted to play another season. Next thing I knew, they were flying me out to Green Bay for my retirement speech.
Huh.
So it seemed like they were pushing him out. But the whole thing was, it's like, oh, well, they had Aaron Rodgers. They saw this young, talented, next freaking all-time great quarterback. But the season of his first year, they spent a second-round draft pick on Brian Brom. And then also drafted Matt Flynn in that same season in 2008.
Wasn't that
That was the year before
that was
Rodgers made his first start.
that
In
was Chris
2008.
Perez's dog that he had weed sent to, I think.
I have no idea what the frick.
You don't remember that
Indians,
storyline?
the Indians closer?
Yeah, Guardians closer. Yeah, Chris Perez. You don't remember
Yeah, I
that
remember
story?
him. What the frick does that have to do with the Packers quarterbacks? What?
He had weed shipped to his dog in the mail.
Wait,
And
what?
his dog's name was Brady Baum or something like that.
Oh, okay. Wait. He said it shipped,
He had marijuana
but the same address.
shipped to the same address but under his dog's name.
Dude, send that sucky to a neighbor or like a family. At that point, just have it sent to you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Did he even have like a girlfriend
I don't know.
or a boyfriend? No judge.
No judge. Yeah.
A dog. What the frick?
Yes, but anyways, back to Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah. Well, my whole point was like the Packers were so set on. Everyone acts like the Packers were like, oh yeah, we see Aaron Rodgers, all-time great quarterback coming up here. Yeah, bye Brett. But they were so not confident in him. They drafted Brian Brom and Matt Flynn the year before his debut season. So like, is this going to end up being a thing where it's just like, no, we're going with Jordan Love,
Right.
no matter how much we see move at this point? Because
Yeah.
casual NFL fans hated Ted Thompson at the time for pushing Brett out for this new guy. Obviously, we're seeing the same results. I'm not here ready to die on the freaking stone of Jordan Love's going to be the next great quarterback because I don't freaking know. It sucks. I want Aaron Rodgers to play for as long as his freaking arm until his arm falls off,
Right.
man. But it doesn't seem like that's gonna happen.
And I've said it before. I think Jordan Love's going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. I really do.
I don't know.
The Chiefs
I
game
thought Justin Herbert was gonna suck. I
it scared me
thought
though.
I thought Trevor Lawrence was gonna suck, so I think I was
Right on
pretty
that
good.
one.
Well, I don't know. I just said he wouldn't be like. I didn't get the hype for Jordan Love. I guess is what it is. Or
Um,
Trevor Lawrence, not Jordan Love. Whatever I
no,
said.
I didn't get it either.
But I don't know. It's not fair to really judge him either.
What's Trevor Lawrence's year looking like? Because I know it's not good.
Golly, man. These numbers aren't going to be pretty.
You know what's crazy? With the exception of his touchdowns, do you remember that, like, how I put together, like, a bunch of different quarterbacks to try and figure out how Trevor Lawrence's career is going to look like?
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
It's, like, looking almost exactly like it.
What's it looking like right now? I
So,
haven't looked at his numbers.
completion percentage is 58%.
Yikes.
Yards is 3,200, which is okay. Touchdowns is 9. Interceptions is 14. For like a 70 quarterback rating. That's like pretty close to what I got.
Yeah.
I'm the next Chris Collinsworth.
Are you proud of that?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
But yes, no, I have faith in Aaron Rodgers and
Jordan
brown and
Love.
orange.
No. I think it's more likely he's a Green Bay Packer way more likely he's a Green Bay Packer next year than he is a Cleveland Brown.
Tell you what,
And if you don't believe that, then you're showing your Browns fandom.
Tell you what, I'm gonna off myself if he becomes a Steelers quarterback.
You would?
Yeah, probably.
I'll be real. That'll be sad for me too.
I'm just not a fan.
Aaron Rodgers did make it clear that he would never go to the Bears, so I appreciate him for that.
That's a good thing. I mean, it's, the Bears have their Aaron Rodgers right now, but
What the fuck is that? What the heck kind of words did I just hear?
But I mean,
I was rolling this tennis ball until you said that word, and it just threw me off.
I just don't see a better fit for Aaron Rodgers besides the Browns. It just makes sense, Matthew.
Well, I'm going through the Packers division to see if we got another Favre situation on our hands. Vikings are stuck with Kirk Cousins, whether they like it or not. So
he's going to be gone though. Like his contract is probably close to ending. Probably next year, end of next year, right?
Gosh dang it, man! You just threw that whole thing out of the window then. Because like Vikings wouldn't be terrible.
He is signed through. I hate that Football Reference just doesn't show the contract. Like that's all I want to see sometimes.
You got to go on like some different website.
Sports Track.
Yeah.
He's signed through 2022.
Gosh dang it. So that's another season after this.
Yeah, that's it. So when Rodgers retires and then comes back, Vikings it is. Now that's a good team for Aaron Rodgers to go to.
Gosh dang it, man. Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen until he gets hurt, Dalvin Cook or Alexander Madison.
I'm going to do a jersey swap right now for Aaron Rodgers in a Vikings uniform and just.
I am going to report you to the FBI.
He won't go to the Bears, but he'd go to the Lions.
Oh, absolutely. Amon-Ra St. Brown, DeAndre Swift, Penei Sewell,
TJ Hawkinson.
It's all there.
Right there. Jeffrey Okudah.
Yeah. Gosh dang it.
God.
Would he ever stay with the Packers? They don't have anyone.
Besides Devontae Adams, but he's gone.
Mason Crosby. Freaking handsome.
Jair Alexander.
Future 2021 Coach of the Year, Matt LaFleur.
I don't think he's going to Coach of the Year this year.
Who the frick's going to win it? Are they going to give it to Belichick?
Probably are, and it's going to be annoying.
Dude. Give Belichick Executive of the Year.
Or Brandon Staley.
No.
Vrabel. It's got to be Vrabel. Like,
why?
They're 10-5. Like, say what you want. Say how much you want, like, about the Titans being pretenders, but they're 10-5.
The Packers are 12-3.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be 12-3.
Oh, but they got Aaron Rodgers, so we can't give the award to him.
I agree. I think it's stupid that way, but
Dude, okay, all we heard the year LaFleur got hired was Aaron Rodgers is regressing. He's this diva. He's not going to get along with this young head coach. Oops, we go 13-3. But then everyone the next year was like, "Oh, they were a fraudulent 13-3. They showed their true colors in the playoffs. They're not going to be able to even come close to replicating that. 13-3, a freaking play and a half away from the Super Bowl." And then we come to this year. Oh my God, all this Aaron Rodgers drama. Their window is passed. Last year was the year. They can't do it this year. We're a whole lot in 3 losses again, and somehow we're still not giving Matt LaFleur credit. We're giving it all to Aaron Rodgers or whoever. I'm getting sick of it. How many times can you not give this award to him?
I agree.
Kevin Stefanski gets gifted a stacked lineup and he wins it.
Okay, all
frick is that?
all right. You're coming a little personal here. That man had to suffer through his defense coordinator being incompetent.
What the frick was Mike Pettin? The man couldn't even get on the sidelines to coach with a COVID-riddled Bears team.
Yeah, but they had Aaron Rodgers. I'm telling you, I agree with you. I think it's stupid sometimes the way
he should win Coach of the Year this year.
Listen, I don't like Vrabel.
I don't like any sentence that starts with listen.
I don't like Vrabel. But he's gotten a really banged up team to 10-5, and they should have no reason.
You know what I'm going to say, so I'm not even going to waste my
And
breath.
I think Zach Taylor is one of the worst head coaches in the NFL. But he's gotten that Bengals team to 9-6.
We all knew Kevin Stefanski was winning it last year.
Yeah.
Browns back in the playoffs.
Right.
The narrative was all there.
Yeah.
We all knew Stefanski was going to win it.
Yeah.
I don't know who won it in 2019.
Mike Pettin.
Lie to me again, you piece of garbage.
Head coach of the John Harbaugh.
Oh, with Lamar Jackson's MVP year?
Yeah.
Got it. That's okay. That's
no,
fine.
That was Lamar Jackson. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Never mind. I lied to you again.
Yeah, that's fine.
Most overrated MVP of all time.
All right, so who's winning MVP this year? Let's go through this and then we can.
It's hard not to say Jonathan Taylor.
Are you freaking serious? It's really easy. Aaron Rodgers. Okay, there you go. If you didn't give it to Derrick Henry last year, why the frick would you give it to Jonathan Taylor this year? That's what I say.
Okay, again, I think it's stupid that they do this, but I just don't think they're going to vote an MVP back to back. I'm predicting.
Also, it doesn't
I'm not
help
saying who the MVP
media
is.
I will say this: it doesn't help that Aaron Rodgers runs his mouth about all his unvaccination trash, and the media is voting on this award.
That will not help him.
And they can easily justify it as, how can you give the most valuable player award to someone that hurt their team by missing a game? They got that scapegoat right there. Aaron Rodgers could throw for 12 touchdowns these last 2 games and no interceptions, and they could still cling on to that one thing. If you're giving the award to the best freaking player who's performed the best, you have no excuse to not give it to Aaron Rodgers. But if you're gonna go on the technicality of all that stuff, give it to, I don't know, if Brady can somehow muster 2 solid performances, or Jonathan Taylor.
The only other other person besides Rodgers and Taylor that I can think fully deserves it is Cooper Kupp.
So I would say, where frick is Michael Thomas's award when he had that big statistical year?
That's true.
Also, Devontae Adams is better than Cooper Kupp, so.
Yeah, okay. I don't think there's any disagreements there.
That's what the Offensive Player of the Year award is. Best non-quarterback.
No.
That's basically what it is. Who won it last year? Derrick Henry won it last year.
Henry won it last year, I'm pretty sure. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, again, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just trying to make predictions.
If you told me like 5 weeks ago who was winning MVP, I would say there's no way it's Aaron Rodgers because of the whole vaccination junk. There's no way the media is going to give it to the guy.
So right
But
now,
he's been playing so dang good. It's almost coming to the point where they have no choice.
Right now, Rodgers is 1, Taylor is 2, Brady is 3. Why is Tom Brady up there?
Because he has the narrative of old man puts up good stats.
Thank you.
But he's been playing like butt cheeks the second all his weapons go away.
Isn't that something?
Isn't that something? He's got one of the best offensive lines, and he's able to put up solid numbers. But Aaron
With one of
Rodgers
the
has
best
got a guy named
best wide receiver cores too.
Yeah, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski. But I got nothing. But the second even a fraction of that stuff goes away, oh frick! I mean, I really tried my darndest to beat the Panthers.
I've been trying to say this whole time about Tom Brady.
Guys, at this point, he's the smartest.
Yeah, sure.
He's the smartest. He's his arm, dude. Like, I keep seeing Skip Bayless's tweets about he's showing he still got that arm strength. That man has no control of his deep balls, and it's just a wonder to me that people are still justifying his arm.
Yeah,
the guy is good for 12 yards at max.
Dak Prescott comeback player of the year this year, probably.
Who else can you give it to?
Alex Smith.
Oh my God! Don't even start with this again.
Let's rename the award the Alex Smith Award.
I mean, you can give it to Big Ben this year.
Oh,
he, overcoming obesity still.
I just hated how I was like laying my freaking case on the line on Big Ben's having just as good a year as Alex Smith.
Yeah.
And then the second I start running my mouth, Big Ben somehow just plays even worse than I thought was even possible. And so it just like gift wrapped it to Alex Smith.
It's just one of my favorite things.
Good. He wasn't good, guys.
Yeah,
I get it. It was a harrowing journey, but he sucked. He made Taylor Heineke get a starting job the next year. That's how bad he was.
That's true. I was still right though.
But yeah, but he had an E60 documentary that made me tear up. So let's give him the freaking award.
See, Big Ben struggles every single day with obesity. So you know what? Let's just give it to him.
Listen, he's beaten it more than I have. So hats off to you, kid.
Yeah, I don't know who else you would give it to. Defensive player of the year is probably gonna be freaking
Parsons.
Are
they giving it to Parsons? It looked like it was gonna be Garrett
or T.J. Watt.
But T.J. Watt's been banged up. Garrett's
been banged up.
Has he? Oh yeah, that wasn't like a groin injury or something.
Yeah, groin, and then I think he had COVID, right? Am I going crazy?
He had COVID last year, didn't he?
I feel like I'm lying, but I don't know.
You freaking gosh, dang it, man! You're spreading more misinformation than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's true.
You are ineligible for MVP.
Yeah, talk to me there. How do you feel that your quarterback is an idiot?
All right, so I was really worried when. So I was under the impression this year he was vaccinated.
Sure.
Because he made it abundantly clear that he was vaccinated.
No, he made it abundantly clear that he was immunized, which he knew exactly what he was doing.
Absolutely. And I love how when he first came out, he's like, I was not trying to deceive the media. And I'm like, we all know that's a dang lie, man. Yeah. So he wanted the best of both worlds of having the praise, because he was getting praised early on for being like a spokesperson of like, make the right healthy choice.
Right.
And he also wanted I can do what I want for being unvaccinated. So like he wanted none of that hate, but he still wanted all the praise. Pretty selfish move there. And then he goes on McAfee, and I never watch his stuff on McAfee because I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest Pat McAfee fan.
Okay.
But
that's a bad take.
I watched it. I don't hate the guy. I just don't think he's.
You know what? I don't watch his show either. I watch all of his YouTube clips though.
The only thing I've watched is that first Aaron Rodgers interview of him after all the vaccination stuff.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Rodgers tries so hard to sound smarter than everyone else that it doesn't give a good look, because it's like, okay, well, I like to think of myself as someone that at least assumes the other person I'm talking to knows something I don't know. And it just seems like Aaron Rodgers, every time he is in a conversation, he thinks, I am smarter than you. You better listen to me if you want to know what's good for you. And that doesn't help.
Aaron Rodgers, the way he talks about all this, talks exactly the way that I think someone who believed in the stuff that he believes in would talk about it. Like, the way he talks about it is like, oh, it's my choice. This is my decision. I consulted some friends. Why are we talking about this? Why aren't we talking about actually the way for players to get healthy? It's because this is like actual facts, Aaron, and like you're just spreading misinformation. The man's a moron, and he knows exactly what he's doing, and he's just trying to play victim. But I'd still like to see him in brown and orange next year. So
I guess the only thing with me is I don't like how he talks down to everyone. It's just so stupid because you're on the same boat as all of us. We're all still trying to figure this junk out too. Why is your method the right way? You talk about all the flaws in like what the vaccine does wrong. You ignore all the things the vaccine does right and all the good things it can do. Like it just seems like he's set on his ways
Matt,
and he's just trying to justify it.
Are you telling me that horse dewormer is not the best COVID treatment?
I loved how all I see now every time Aaron Rodgers tweeted it was like, "Did you consult Dr. Rogan with this?" And like I know he was just trying to say like he was just getting like health and fitness stuff from Joe Rogan, but just the way he threw his name in there, I'm like, dude, you don't even realize what you just did to yourself. Everything you just said beforehand, it does not matter now because everyone's just gonna say you got all your stuff from Joe Rogan. It's like gosh dang it, Aaron, what are you doing?
For Christmas this year, I did some gag gifts for my family, and
Nice.
I got them all literature. Like my one, my sister-in-law, I gave her beautiful poetry done by Donald Trump, and however, for my brother-in-law, I got you the same book, and next time I see you, I'm going to give you this book.
Boom.
So I can't tell you what I can't tell you what it is, but for my brother, I got him the book Jabbed: How the Vaccine Industry, Medical Establishment, and Government Stick It to You and Your Family. And I also got I also got him some ivermectin. So
did you actually get it?
yeah. Or I don't know if
That's
exactly it was ivermectin, but it was like horse dewormer. And so
Something like that.
I wrapped it all up, and he's like, "Oh, thank you." Yeah.
Dude, I just made you immune to anything for the next 80 years.
Yeah. You're welcome. So
yeah, Aaron Rodgers is only hurt. The only person stopping Aaron Rodgers from this MVP is Aaron Rodgers.
it seems like that for most years.
On and off the field.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like that for most years.
Why?
I feel like that guy just needs to put his foot in his mouth a lot of times. Like, I feel like if he just wasn't just a complete a-hole to media, he'd have a few more MVPs, but
He's a guy that just treats the media like, I don't need you.
Which
But the
part of it
second
I
he
can
actually-
understood. I can
But the
understand.
second he needs them, he comes crawling back to him, and the media's like, oh, now.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one thing. You know, as much as I hate sports media, they are very petty people, and they do not forget. They have all their receipts and everything.
Just like Aaron Rodgers. I mean,
yeah, you're right.
it's like you want to talk all this trash about the media being. It's like, dude, that's you. You just described you.
Right.
But anyways, I hope Aaron Rodgers never hears this, so like we can become best friends. And dude, all right, Aaron Rodgers just got the positive COVID test. You get a knock on your door. It's Aaron Rodgers. You letting him in, right?
Yeah.
Like we're playing a game of Scrabble. I'll share a cup with liquids.
I will let him breathe on me if I can recruit him to the Browns.
Dude, he can cough down my dang throat if he wins this dang Super Bowl this year. I don't freaking care.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be on life support with whatever disease you give me. Just win that chip, man.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad we're on the same page with that one.
I think that's a good stopping point.
That was a good stopping point. That's exactly what
I
I
will
was thinking.
die for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Yeah. That's healthy. All right. Well, Matthew, have a happy new year. Listeners, have a happy new year. This was the Walter Payton episode.
No, don't do that. Come on.
The Walter Payton episode 34.
Give me a second. Ricky Williams.
Okay. All right. We can just stop at that. This was episode 34 of the Brown Mama Show. Remember, if you need marketing, home plate marketing can get it done pretty good for you.
I believe it.
Well, that's all I got. Until next time, Matthew,